Hello everybody, Raven Knight here. Before we begin, I want to make a quick preface. As of the recording of this video, a hurricane is making its way through the southeastern United States and it is impacting Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. I'm making this preface so that I can inform you guys that everything you're going to hear in this update video should remain the same unless something happens, such as we lose power, have to relocate, or suffer property damage. We will let you know if anything changes or if this update video needs to be adjusted or re-understood in a new way, but otherwise everything should remain the same. And to everyone out there who has suffered under this hurricane, know that our thoughts and prayers are going out to you. I know this is a difficult time. I urge you to stay safe, stay healthy, and just know that we are all praying for you and hope for the best. All right, with all that out of the way, let's get on to the update video. Welcome everyone to the month of September. We are done with August, on to September, and man, what a month last month was. So much happened, so much changed, and we'll talk about what those changes have brought and what you can expect this month. But before we can get into that, we've got to go through the typical shill. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome to my channel, but know that I could not run this channel without y'all's support, and there are lots of ways to support the channel if you're so willing. One way is to donate via Super Chat whenever I do live streams, and I do a lot of live streams throughout the week. You can also like and subscribe to the channel and get your friends and family to like and subscribe videos. That helps the algorithm. But if you want to donate more directly, there are a few ways to do it. For one thing, I do have a Patreon where you can go and donate up to $1 a month, and I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it means a lot to me, and it would really help me out in the long run. And I do have a Teespring store where we have some awesome merchandise drawn by some wonderful artist friends of mine who I'll talk about in just a minute. But I will warn you guys, the Teespring store hasn't been doing so well lately. It hasn't had any visitors in 3 months. So I really, again, urge you guys to go at least check it out and see what kind of stuff is there, what kind of stuff you can potentially get. Got some awesome artist friends who constantly add ideas to it and ideas for me. So please go give them some love. And you know what? Speaking of those artist friends, let's talk about them right now. I have two awesome friends who draw some wonderful art for the channel and for me personally. I want to shout them out right now so that you guys know who makes this channel possible. Their names are Hannah and Jay. Hannah and I have been friends for a very, very long time. She's a fantastic artist. In fact, there's a running joke between us where she only tends to draw me as a girl for some reason, and we laugh about it. There are lots of funny jokes between us. In fact, if you ever look at any of my thumbnails, especially for Honor Fridays, you'll usually notice like a chick in the corner. That's usually a female version of me that she's drawn in a different outfit or style just for fun. It's a great way to get her art out there and a great way for me to get a laugh out of it. It's just something that we do between us. It's a lot of fun. But other than that, she also has drawn the chibi versions of the Raven Knight that you've seen in various areas. She's drawn a lot of stuff for other projects. She works as a website designer. She's an all-around exceptional artist and a really good friend. She has an Instagram, and I'll leave that in the link below, and you should be seeing her art flowing across the screen right now just to get an idea of what she can do. She isn't taking any commissions right now, but just giving her the support and telling her that you enjoy her art would mean the world to her. I know it. Thank you guys so much. Go check out Hannah. Now, aside from Hannah, there's also Jay. Jay and I have been friends for a little while now, and he is also my accountability partner, which means that we're both Christians and we both speak to each other and support each other when times are hard for us. He is a professional comic artist. He has drawn some amazing comic art. He has drawn art for Bible books, for actual like novels. He and I have also worked together to create stories like Nomad and Troy and Frost and other stories, and we're working on new stories all the time. He's the one who drew the Raven Lord avatar that you see in a lot of my art and a lot of my response videos. He's also drawn some really exceptional work for other stories that I've worked on, and he drew the awesome Jorogumo image for the Jorogumo event mode that happened last year. Guys, he's just an all-around awesome artist, but an overall great person, and I hate to say it, but Jay is going through a tough time right now. He is going through some dental surgery right now, which is a little bit tight on him since he's self-employed. If you guys could support him, he does have an Instagram page and he does take commissions. Go check him out. He is an absolutely fantastic artist, as you've seen from the art that's been flowing across the screen. Jay, Hannah, you're both really great friends to me, and it means so much to me that you guys continue to draw art for me and draw art for the channel. Really, this channel would not be the same without those two. Again, I urge you guys, even if you don't commission them, go check out their work. It's worth seeing. And now, last but not least, I do have a second channel called The Raven's Writing Room, which is purely dedicated to writing and writing advice. That link will be in the description as well. On The Raven's Writing Room, we talk about a whole lot of stuff. It's basically where I've moved all my writing material, and I'm in the process of moving all my writing videos from this channel over to that one. Some videos you'll find over there include the Raven Lord lore videos, Death's Diary, the series, the Ravens Writing Room series, where I give advice on writing, the Nomad and Troy and Frost audiobooks that I've been working on with Jay, the story sharing series where I share different books and stories that I've written, Fantastical History, where we talk about fantasy races and characters and stories in the real world, an analysis of the Psalms, which will be coming out sometime later this year or possibly next year, and Rhetoric and Fallacies, giving you guys understanding of how to make argumentation and how to better prepare yourselves for talking to people and discussing points. Lots of stuff coming to this channel. Really want to see it grow, but it cannot grow without y'all's support. Right now, it's got about 600 subscribers. Would love to see it grow into 1,000, but that's all up to you guys. Again, go check out the channel. Would love for you to do so. All right, now that we're done with the shill, let's get on to personal stuff. School is back in session. Lark is back in the classroom teaching, and I am substitute teaching. And the nice thing about subbing is it gives me the chance to write more during break periods, but kids are still crazy. See, usually what happens when I'm a substitute is I come in, the teacher has already left work for those kids to do, so I just basically say, hey kids, do your work, and I can sit there and work on scripts or stories or what have you, and just make sure that the kids don't kill themselves. Kind of works out pretty well for me and for you guys, since it allows me to continue working on stuff. But there was one day when I was subbing last week that I got to teach a class. That was pretty cool. I got to teach an actual class. It was a lot of fun. So great stuff coming back in that regard. For those of you who are my fans who are back in school, keep on going, keep on trucking it. You know, education isn't a bad thing. Take it from me. I'm a teacher. It can be boring at times, but it's all worth it in the end. Now, some bad stuff did happen last month. I had to take a trip to the hospital. My blood pressure had spiked to a dangerous level. I was hospitalized briefly to get it under control, and the medication I'm taking makes me exhausted and drains my energy. I feel sluggish, and that's why I didn't put out a whole lot of videos near the end of the month. I was just too worn out to put out a whole lot of stuff. But I'm getting used to the medication. Things are getting back to a normal place, so I'm hoping I can get out some more stuff as we go forward. So look forward to more stuff coming out soon. I've also joined a discipleship group. For those of you who don't know by now, you probably should, I am a Christian, and my young adult ministry leader has invited me to join a Disciple Now program, which is a 6-month program to study skills to disciple others and grow as believers. It should be fun, and it may also lead to me making some Bible study kind of videos and content in the future, so we'll look forward to seeing what that does. My progress with the TEFL has been very slow because of the issues medically and also some issues with other stuff that happened last month, which we'll get into. I haven't been able to work on the TEFL as much as I would like. I'm almost done with the second unit, but it's just taking forever to get through because of all the lectures, but we will get through it. Also, a couple things that are happening this coming month. Lark is taking a weekend trip to Nashville to celebrate a bachelor party with one of our friends who is finally getting married coming up, which is going to be awesome. Lark is going to be making that trip. I'll be remaining, so we'll probably do some streaming stuff while that's going on. And also, my parents are going on a long trip, and they're dropping off their dog with us. I'm not a big fan of this dog. His name is Max, and he is an old dog. He used to belong to my grandparents, but my grandfather can no longer take care of him, so now he's going to be taken care of by us. He's a small Yorkie poo, and I just think of him as a little barking rat, but hey, we'll do anything to help out family, right? That's what it is. That's what it means to have a family. You help each other out, so I don't have a problem with that, so that's essentially what it is. Now, before we move on to what's going to be coming, I'm going to remind you guys of the streaming schedule, for those of you who do not know. I stream a lot each week. Wednesdays are Lark streaming days. He streams Fallout 4 right now, so come on Wednesday nights at 8:30 to check out Lark's streaming series. On Thursdays, I stream Persona 5 Royal. We are doing that as long as there's interest in it, and we've been having fun with that. On Friday, it is For Honor Friday, so come check us out and playing For Honor. Sometimes we have some awesome guests. Sometimes it's just us killing time. We have a great time. Hope you guys will come and check that out. On Saturdays, we are streaming the Mass Effect series, and yes, I will stream Mass Effect Andromeda after I finish Mass Effect 3, but we are currently on 3, and hopefully we will beat that game sometime this coming month. And Sundays are wild cards. We don't really know what we're going to play, if we play anything at all, and we will always let you guys know before we do. So thank you guys so much for listening to all the personal stuff going on, and I hope that you guys will keep all that in mind, keep supporting us, and come check out our work on the streaming series and on the streaming schedule. We would love to have you guys along for all those streams. Now, we're finally done with all that. We can get into the stuff you really want to hear about, the content coming. So, what is coming to the channel? Let's start with For Honor. A new Wulin season is on the way. Expect a Warriors Den live stream for that, unless, of course, things become difficult due to weather. My early prediction is that there will be that the hero skin will be a Wulin hero who fights back against Horkos, who have shown up to steal the land and riches of the Wulin, and the Wulin will attempt a counter-offensive. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes. It's probably going to be the same thing as always. Horkos does something bad, and it pisses off someone outside of Heathmoor, so then those outside of Heathmoor need to deal with Horkos. We've seen it. We know how that song and dance goes. I'm hoping for some variety, but you never know. I'm almost done with the Executions Graded series. Yes, I will do the Universal Executions, but right now we're almost done with the Executions Graded. We only got Aphira and Ocelotl to go. So I'm hoping that we can wrap that up and see where that leads us with the Executions. We also have been doing lore discussions lately. I hope you guys have been enjoying the lore discussions. I've been talking about the different factions of For Honor. I've been talking about different issues with the lore. I call these lore discussions. They've been doing really, really well. In fact, it's very funny. The night video I released kind of blew up. It's gotten me a large spike in subscribers and viewers. I'm so glad y'all enjoyed that, and guess what? I'm not done. I'm not just going to talk about the Night year idea or the Wulin year idea that I proposed. I'm going to do one for the Samurai and Vikings as well. What if we had years dedicated to these factions, and we had heroes released for those years dedicated to those factions? I'll tell you all about my thoughts and what I could see happening. I'll tell you about what For Honor has done well with those factions and what they've done poorly with those factions. We're going to keep this going as long as we can. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. But while we're on that note, I've had a lot of people come to me saying, how dare you suggest another Night hero? Come on, guys. It's a Night year. We can get a Night hero for that. And I'm going to talk about getting Samurai and Viking heroes for the new years that I propose there. So it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. I hope you guys have enjoyed that video series. I plan to continue it. Also, one thing that I've been thinking about doing is I may do some map exploration. So people have asked me to analyze the For Honor maps. I'm not sure how I'll go about that yet because I do not have the technology with which to zoom around the map and look at it from different angles. I don't know how some people do that, but they do it. And if I knew how to do that, I would definitely do it, but I don't. So we'll have to see what I do there. The Legend series. I want to make a big apology about the Legend series. It has hit a brick wall completely. I've got serious writer's block in terms of writing stories in general, and that includes the Legends videos. I'm trying hard to get those out there. I'm still working on Nibbles, and after Nibbles is done, I've got another one lined up. I promise I will try to get one out soon. I just don't know what's holding me up. I really don't. I'm trying my best, guys. I really am. Just trust me, I do want to get it out there. And then finally, I also want to give a big shout out to my buddy Havoc. Havoc is, in my opinion, probably the best For Honor content creator out there. He is very positive about the game, has a lot of fun with it, but he's fair to it. He's willing to point out problems where he sees it. And he gave me a huge shout out. He's been shouting out my channel for a while, and I did a little bit of a collab with him where I created the Ultor and Ruth story. That went over very well, and Havoc himself gave his thanks by making a video dedicated to Ruth. We've had a lot of fun with that, and Havoc even hopped on to play with me on a For Honor Friday, which was great. I hope we can do more together, me and Havoc. Havoc, if you're watching this, I don't know if you are, but if you are watching this, know that I look forward to doing more stuff with you in the future. A big fan. Those of you who haven't seen Havoc's work, go check out his channel. It's very much well worth the watch. All right, that about covers everything for Honor. Let's move on to the next game, Dead by Daylight. So the Dead by Daylight analysis is doing very well. I've released some more videos on that. Now, those of you who've been asking me, when are you going to do Oni? When are you going to do the new Xenomorph? All that stuff. I do it in order of release. I know that I skipped a few, like I did do Pinhead and I did the Onryo at different times, but that was just because those are Halloween specials and because I was just super excited to do them. But as a general rule, I like to do them in order of release. I do Survivor, Killer, and in that order. So next up, now that I just did the Plague, is going to be Ash Williams from the Evil Dead series, and I'm also going to do Ghostface after Ash. Then I will do the Stranger Things series, which is going to be difficult because I never watched Stranger Things and I don't have a lot of interest in watching it. I'll probably do Steve Harrison and Nancy Wheeler at the same time since both Survivors came out at the same time and are both from the same franchise, so we'll probably double up on that, but we'll see how that works out. Also, I have been asked to grade the Mories in Dead by Daylight in the same way that I grade executions in For Honor. Let me tell you my problem with that. I can't possibly grade the Mories like I do in For Honor because in Dead by Daylight, a lot of these killers are supernatural in origin, and how they do their Mories is supernatural. So I can't grade for realism. And it's also not a battlefield, so it's hard to grade for battlefield efficiency. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do a Mori tier list. Yes, a Mori tier list. I'm going to rank each of the Mories using my own grading criteria. So you can look forward to that. I'll be working on that this month. So a Mori tier list. Yes, let's do it. And Lark may even help me do it. And yes, I'm well aware of the Alien season that came out with Ellen Ripley and the Xenomorph. I am super excited. As you can see on the screen, I've already been practicing with Ellen and the alien. The Xenomorph's power is so freaking cool. I really like it. I'm actually surprised that when I played Ellen Ripley, I actually escaped without ever being caught. Was the Xenomorph just being nice to me, or was the killer genuinely unaware of my presence, or am I just that good? It cannot be the latter. It must be one of the formers. But I'm having a lot of fun with that. So expect more stuff to come out for Dead by Daylight. And finally, I want to get this out there. A couple people have been telling me, Raven, have you heard about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game? I have heard of it. I have no desire to play it. The TCM franchise isn't my favorite horror franchise to begin with, so I don't really care to play it. I know a lot of people are saying, oh man, it's so much better than Dead by Daylight. It's totally going to kill Dead by Daylight. Let me go ahead and say this early. No, it won't. It will not kill Dead by Daylight, and I'll tell you why. 3 reasons. Number 1, variety. With Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you're limited to that franchise, whereas Dead by Daylight is not limited by any franchise. Number 2, people are going to get old of the same thing over and over again. It always happens. That's why variety in games like For Honor, Dead by Daylight, and Rainbow Six are so good, because they can provide variety over time. If you're limited to just one license or one franchise, it will get old fast. And 3, if you think that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is somehow going to be better because it's going to avoid cheaters or people who exploit the game, you're fooling yourself. Spook and Juke's already released a video saying that there are already cheaters in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game. Am I saying that the game is going to be bad? No. I'm sure it's awesome. I'm sure people are going to enjoy it. But people saying that it's going to kill Dead by Daylight or that Dead by Daylight is completely inferior, people said the same thing about the Friday the 13th game. See how that worked out? Yeah. So I'm not all too worried about that. If you guys enjoy the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, great, I'm glad you do. It's just not something I'm all that interested in. All right, that about does it for Dead by Daylight. Let's talk about Assassin's Creed Ranked. Screw Assassin's Creed Valhalla hard. I will finish it. Just don't ask me when. I don't want to work on it. And yes, people are already asking me about my thoughts on Assassin's Creed Mirage and Jade. Here are my thoughts on that. I don't really care. I don't mean to sound callous, but I just don't care. Mirage is just... I don't care because I already know the big twist. I already know who Basim is. I know the big understory behind him. So I don't care. It's just not something I really care about. And as for Jade, I watched the gameplay trailer. It doesn't look all that interesting. It looks kind of lazy compared to some of the bigger games like Valhalla, Odyssey, and Mirage. It looks like something that just kind of slapped together to say, oh look, China, we did that. And besides, I'm kind of mad at it because I'm like, oh, you made Assassin's Creed Jade and it's about this guy in China. That's cool. When are you going to make Zhao Jun a good game? When are you going to bring her a good game, right? So I don't really care. Assassin's Creed, as far as I'm concerned, is dead. If you still enjoy it, great. I don't. All right, after that, let's talk about Lark's Lamentations and something else about Lark that y'all may want to know. Lark's next Lamentations is going to be on the Vanderlinde gang from Red Dead Redemption 2. It'll take a little bit of time to get through that because, of course, he's got to play through the game to get all the footage he needs and to get all the information, but that will be the next one he works on because, after all, he's got a plan, Lark! So look forward to that when it comes out. Also, Lark has made an interesting request of me. He wants me to do another rated S for stupid video, and that video is theme songs for the Warhammer 40k Space Marine Legions. I'm adding this into the video because, do y'all want to see me do that? Do y'all want to see me do something that stupid and that silly? Because I don't mind doing it. But I want to know if you guys want to see me do it. Let me know down in the comments if that's something you'd like to see me do, because that sounds like something that would be very fun to work on, if not a little bit ridiculous. All right, and now let's move on to the next topic of conversation. Rainbow Six cringe and when. I want to apologize, first of all, that those videos are so slow in coming out. You got to bear with me on this because I'm not good at Rainbow Six Siege, and so it's hard for me to get the footage that I need to for different operators. What I want to do, what I try to do is, first I read the lore and the site profile behind the characters and kind of get an idea of who they are. Then I play a lot with them, make sure that I get an understanding of their gadgets so that I can give proper advice on how to use it. And then I try to get footage of me using all of their guns so that I can give you a kind of footage of what their guns look like in use. The problem is, if I'm not good at first-person shooter games, it becomes that much more difficult to get good gunplay footage, so it becomes harder and harder and harder to get that footage to you. But trust me, I am working on it. Please, I do ask this too, guys. Bear with me also in the fact that of my video series, the Rainbow Six Siege videos don't get a lot of attention, and if a video series doesn't get a lot of attention, I lack the motivation to work on it. So if y'all want to see more of that, please let me know by commenting on those videos or going to go watch those videos. It would mean the world to me, and it would give me the motivation to keep doing it. So that's what I will say there. I will also say this. I've been requested many times to talk about original operators. Like, have I created original operators that I would want to see in the game? Kind of like what I did with Dead by Daylight or For Honor, where I suggest different new heroes or new killers and stuff like that. Yes, I have made original operators, and I would be happy to make videos about those operators if you guys want to see it. But like I said, if people aren't interested in my Rainbow Six content, then it's not worth the time making, right? All right. Now, with that all out of the way, the new Heavy Metal season has come out, and I love it. And let me tell you why. Even though I don't like her lore, Ram is a pretty fun operator. I've had a lot of fun with it. Despite my issues with the anime trailer, I like Ram and I've enjoyed playing her. And then again, I'm also a sucker for South Korea because I have friends in South Korea and even dated a girl from there before. So, hey, you know, I got friends across Asia. And that comes a lot from me being in a college that had a lot of Asian exchange students. And so just made a lot of friends with them. And so it's just a passion. I can't help it. I've got a liking for that Asian persuasion. It's the truth. Now, some of you are probably wondering, hey, what's the next cringe and win video going to be? The next cringe win video is going to be Frost, which is going to be a bit of a cringe and a win, kind of a little bit of both. And then after that will probably be Fuse. I'm looking forward to talking about Fuse, that war criminal that he is. So that'll be a lot of fun. I hope you guys are looking forward to that if you guys watch that series. If you don't, I do recommend watching it. I do have a lot of fun with it. And that about does it for Rainbow Six. Let's move on to my response videos. A lot of you guys enjoy my response videos, and you've noticed that I've been taking a lot of looks at some Christian stuff lately. I'm willing to look at a lot of stuff, be it an article, video, sermon, what have you. I'm willing to look at a lot of stuff. What you need to do to get me to see it, though, is go to my Discord, and that link will be in the description. Go to my Discord and go to my channel called Video Topics and give me a link to what you want me to respond to, and I'll take a look at it and see if I can respond to it. But keep sending me that stuff so that I can take a look at it and decide if it's worth responding to, because I can't respond to stuff that isn't there or isn't requested to me. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, send that stuff to me. I'd love to make some response videos that you guys would like to see. And what do you guys think of my response videos so far? What have you thought of the ones that I've released lately? Have y'all enjoyed them? Let me know down in the comment section. I'd love to hear your thoughts because, hey, I really do read all your comments, guys. I love hearing your feedback. And speaking of feedback, that just about does it for everything in terms of updates. But there's one last thing we have to do. You know what time it is, guys. Do the jingle.
I've seen unspeakable horrors, and I know pain. It's time for the question of the day.
That's right, guys. It is time for the question of the day. And I'm very sad, guys. I released a post not long ago asking you guys to send me your questions. I only got 5 comments. Really? Only 5 comments, and that is a little bit sad. But we still got to take what we can get. So I want to thank Valiant Chris 6456 for sending me his question. I'm going to be answering that one today. Valiant Chris asks, quote, "In your opinion, what are the most annoying writing tropes you have ever encountered?" Well, I want to thank you, Valiant Chris, for sending me this question. It is a very good question. And I have encountered a lot of writing tropes that I just get absolutely sick of seeing, and I'm going to list them here. There are 5 in total. The first one is I'm sick of the liar revealed trope. This is a trope where a character, a main character or a side character, whoever, lies to the people in their story about something that they're doing or something that they've done, and then it's revealed at the very end, and it turns into this whole conflict. A good example of that would be something like in The Incredibles, where Mr. Incredible lies that he got a promotion at his job, when in reality he lost his job and is secretly going off somewhere to live out his glory days again. I didn't mind that one too much, but there are others that I don't like where you see that happen. I do not like it where you have situations where a character just lies and then it's found out later. Because here's the reason why I don't like it. Take a movie like Bug's Life, a very old Disney product. In that story, the ant named Flick, he lies about the circus bugs that he brought to help them against the grasshoppers. He lied and said that they were warriors, but it turns out they're circus bugs. And it's found out. And the reason I don't like this trope is because even though they found out and they know him to be a liar, we all know that he's going to be forgiven and he's going to be redeemed and everyone's going to accept him. There's no change to it. What if instead the liar actually was like ostracized, like he couldn't come home? Like what if you actually had it where there were genuine consequences for his actions that were lasting instead of just a temporary thing, you know? That annoys me. The next one is the strong woman trope. I'm sick of this because it's done to death. And I'm not the only one sick of it. I don't mind having women who are strong. I don't mind that at all. But what happens with the strong woman trope is they go too far with it. The woman has no weakness. They show no emotion. They basically make all the men around them look weak by comparison. It gets old because there comes a point where I have to wonder, why are women fighting for, representation or fighting for, equality or anything like that when the way they're portrayed shows them being better than men all the time? It kind of lessens the message that they want to give. If their message is that women are cool too, great, I never thought they weren't, but doing this all the time makes us men look kind of like idiots, and I get bored of that all the time. I get bored of it. I get sick of it. Why can't we show strong women that are strong in unique ways, But anyway, that's one. Then the next one is the misunderstood monster trope. You see this in stuff like Twilight. I'm sick of stories where the monster is always like, oh, you think you're afraid of me, but in reality, I'm a tortured soul. I get sick of that. I get sick of that very quickly. It's an old trope. At least in Hellsing, though Alucard is misunderstood, he's still an effing monster. Okay, so why can't we have monsters be monsters again? The next one is man and technology bad. You see this in stuff like Pocahontas or in the movie Avatar, directed by James Cameron, where basically humanity and everything they do is evil. Humanity is the real monster. It was human gumption and greed that led to the destruction of so much. Technology is evil. We need to get back to our roots. I'm sick of those. I'm sick of those to no end, because quite often, not only is it majorly hypocritical, because a lot of the people who create these movies are gas guzzlers themselves who don't mind using technology to push all this stuff. I mean, it's very ironic to me that James Cameron's Avatar movies are some of the highest grossing and most expensive movies to produce, and yet they say that capitalism and technology is bad. Little hypocritical, but who am I to judge? And then the last one is the religious moron trope, where basically you have a religious character in a movie or book, and they're completely stupid because they put everything in their zealous belief in God. And I'm sick of that because religious people are not stupid by nature. There can be stupid religious people, but they are not stupid because they are religious. And I get sick of that because I like to see religious characters who are actually very unique. Like, ask yourself this: when's the last time you watched a movie or TV show or read a book where the Christian character or religious character was actually very wise and very likable? Usually with Christian characters, they're written as stupid or zealous or Bible beating or anything like that, and it gets so old, it gets so tired, I get sick of it. So those are the 5 tropes that I see the most that get very annoying for me, that I don't enjoy, and we can talk more about those kind of tropes in my Writing Room channel. Again, go check that out. And I want to thank you again, Valiant Chris, for your question. If you guys have questions you want to ask me, please, next time I have an update video, send me your questions. I'd love to add them to my list of questions. And I want to thank you guys again for watching this video, and I also want to say, once again, like I said at the very beginning with the preface, at the time of recording this video, there is a hurricane blowing through. For those of you guys who have been in its path and have suffered as a result, again, know that we are praying for you and reaching out to you guys, and everything you've heard in this update video will remain accurate unless told otherwise. It's going to be a rough start to the month, guys. It really is, and it's been a crazy month last month. I want to thank you guys so much. This month has seen so much growth in the channel, partially because of Havoc and his shoutouts, but also partially because of the awesome responses you guys have given me to my videos, both response videos and lore videos. Guys, this is such a treat. This is such an amazing opportunity for me to be able to share my passion for writing, history, my faith, for gaming, all that stuff I get to do on this channel. You have no idea how fortunate I am to be able to do all this, and you guys are the ones who make it possible. Again, I urge you guys to go check out my friends Hannah and Jay, who could really use your support and attention. And if you guys want to help support the channel, there are ways to do it. All the links are in the description below. Please consider checking that out. And as always, guys, I will see you in my next video. Take care.